How's it going, guys? Andrew once again, and if you're a true fan of mine, you must have known that it's been a while, maybe weeks, since I've actually done a vlog in this room, but I'm actually really excited since this special occasion will be the Amazing Spider-Man review for today. So enjoy, guys. So I'll be doing this review in 3 separate sections, which is the summary, analysis, and the ratings. So I'm just going to be starting off with the summary I'll try to keep it as short and brief as possible, so please stay with me, guys. So Peter Parker was just your average high school student who was just bullied by others and treated like an outcast, actually. In the beginning of the movie, he was abandoned by his own parents and then being under the care of his Uncle Ben and Aunt May. And then he would actually struggle in between finding the love of his life, who seemed to be Gwen Stacy, his first high school love, and finding the actual secrets of his own parents and why they abandoned him, or why did they disappear, etc. Then while Peter was actually helping his Uncle Ben clean the basement of his house, he actually finds a strange briefcase that contains some secrets of his own father's past. These files and papers they actually found in the briefcase, they linked in between his own father and the scientist at Oscorp named Dr. Kurt Connors. Later in the movie, Peter actually sneaks into Oscorp and fights Dr. Connors and actually finds out that from the same files they actually found in the briefcase was this serum, this formula that Connors was actually working on to actually regenerate human limbs and human tissue. As Peter's still curious, he actually sneaks in this other laboratory which contains this room full of thousands of genetically mutated spiders. Yeah, you know where this is going. Throughout his trip home, he finds out that he was bitten by one of those spiders and was given superhuman abilities and spider powers. And throughout the Spider-Man movies, if you've seen Dr. Connors, he had a right amputated arm. He wanted to be the first human test subject for his new serum and actually grows his arm back. And this is when the weirdness happens. As he found out that lizards were able to grow their own parts back, he injected lizard DNA in the serum for it to work. The side effects were able to make him grow twice the size and in the appearance of a lizard man. And after Connors realizes that Peter Parker actually gave him the formula for the serum, it turns out that he wants revenge on him. While Peter Parker is actually testing his own spider powers and having a better connection with Gwen Stacy, and Peter acts like any other high school student. He rebels against his own parents and does what he does. As Karma looks back at him, and Uncle Ben is shot down by a robber. As Peter soon finds out that he doesn't want any other life ending up like his Uncle Ben's, so he decides to save the city. As then masking himself as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And while spending more time with Gwen, he actually finds out that her father is Commander-in-Chief of the NYPD, whose sole purpose is to actually take down one guy wearing spandex. As Dr. Connors, aka the Lizard, takes his revenge on Peter and actually finds out that his secret identity is Spider-Man. And for some reason he didn't want to use his own identity against him, but it turns out he wants to turn the whole city into lizards. And eventually Gwen's father finds out that Peter is Spider-Man. Eventually Spider-Man actually beats the Lizard, and the Commander dies. And Peter tries to keep a promise with the Commander that he should never see Gwen again, to keep her out of danger between the Spider-Man business. And literally at the very second, he doesn't keep that promise, and that's how the movie ends. It's like the movie was pretty decent, but I want to name some positive and negative factors about the movie. I think the producers actually tried to remake this movie, connected better to the actual comics. Compared to the very first Spider-Man movie that we were introduced to, Peter Parker was actually able to shoot webs out of his own wrist, producing his own webs. And in this movie, Peter Parker actually creates these own devices which are able to shoot webs on their own automatically. And even more linked to the comics, Gwen Stacy is actually the very first girl that Peter Parker loved, which was in this remake of the movie, as they actually tried to introduce Mary Jane Watson more into the story in the original Spider-Man movie. And character-wise, Peter Parker in this remake, I thought that he was actually better than Tobey Maguire. It's like Andrew Garfield in this movie, he didn't really give a care about whatever he did. He tried making some good puns. There were funny puns occasionally, but he was more of a laid-back guy. As Tobey Maguire, he seemed a lot more depressed and serious most of the time, which threw off his edge a bit, but this is the kind of personality that I like in someone. Just like they're calm, they're actually serious at some points, but it's just high school student. And as some good movies, there's actually that one scene on the after credits. We see in this certain scene that Dr. Connors is in a jail cell and then this mysterious man appears out of nowhere saying, "Did you tell Peter Parker the secrets of his own father?" And Connor says, "You should leave him alone." But yeah, that's how it goes. So my personal rating would be a decent 7.5 out of 10. I'd have to say, like, the movie was good. Like, the first half of the movie was okay, but the last half of the movie was excellent. So thank you guys very much for watching this review. Follow me on Twitter for more updates. This has been Andrew, guys. See you next time. Oh my god, I can see! Oh, there's a spider. Damn, I smashed it.